So today's gonna be a little different. I am going to be walking you through the process that I take as I sell at our local curriculum sale. So I'm outside in the garage, all these boxes behind me, this beautiful stuff is what I'm going to be going through, sorting, labeling, all the nice stuff. And I wanted to give you a glimpse of that process. So this is gonna be done over several days. This definitely is not going to be a short process for me, but I want to keep this video short for you. So I will be changing outfits. I'll have different backgrounds because I'm just going to be taking clips from my process as I go, and it's definitely not going to be all in one day or even 1 week. The sale's in a couple of weeks, so I have a little bit of time to prepare, but it's definitely going to take me time because I've got to find time between when my kids nap and when they need me and all that stuff. So I'm going to turn the camera around and give you just a look at this pile of boxes behind me that I have been collecting over the year to do with this curriculum sale. Okay, so this is the pile of boxes we have behind me. I think that this one is empty. It's just here so that I can put stuff in it. But we have books, we have curriculum, we have manipulatives, and I have been leaving these boxes here, just adding to them throughout the year as I have things that I want to part with, pick up things at garage sales and sell them at curriculum sales. But this is the pile that I have to go through, and it is quite a pile. So, oh my goodness, this is a lot of books, but we'll start somewhere. Okay, so how I price books. So there's kind of two ways of looking at it. Either you can price them at the lowest price you're willing to take and hopefully sell the most curriculum you can and come back home with the least after the sale, or you can go for as high of a price as you think it will sell, but then consider that you'll probably sell less. Me, I want to come home with as little of this as possible. So I'm going to sell these on the low side. Plus, with this particular sale, after doing it last year and kind of seeing what people were pricing things at, I also realized people are looking for a deal. They're coming to these used sales not to spend a lot of money, they're coming to save a lot of money. And there are lots of people selling similar curriculums to what I am selling, and people are going to be taking stuff home. So I tend to price things on the low side. For books, I tend to go between $1 and $3, depending on how nice of quality, how used, if it's hardback, paperback, if it's real popular. Sometimes if I know it's a real popular book, I'll go a little more than that. And then with the curriculum books, I found last year that I didn't really sell anything that was priced above $10 for a piece of curriculum. Maybe there are exceptions for super popular items or really high quality items or kits, but for individual books, that's kind of the top that I'm shooting for. So I'm going to start just entering some of this stuff in, kind of just pick somewhere to start. Okay, there's also at this particular curriculum sale a free table. So anything that people have that they've used most of the way or part way or is just not good enough condition to sell, or an old edition that they don't want to try selling. And there is lots of tables set up where people can just put their curriculum there for other people to take for free. And I utilized this because it was great to be able to see a workbook that was mostly filled in, but something that I had considered using, and really get to flip through it, take it home, look at it carefully, and then decide if I wanted to buy it or not. So I have a few things in here that are partly used. You can see like this has some of the work pages torn out, the first several. So I'm probably just going to stick this in their free pile, not try to sell it. And I think that this one is the same. Yeah, there's a chunk of work pages torn out. So these I'm just going to actually donate. So I need to start a separate pile. I'll try to put those right in my laptop of things that I'm just going to give onto that free table versus trying to sell. Okay, so let me also turn the camera around and kind of give you a glimpse inside of what I'm doing on my screen. So we have categories that we can select. This is not fiction. This will be religious. Then we have a description line. They recommend making it as accurate as possible so that if the tag becomes separated, people can kind of find it or access. So you probably want to put as much information as you have in there. And this is a nice hardback devotional in perfect condition. I think I'm going to try and do like $3.50, which is kind of on the high end of what I try to do. Okay, and then we're going into fiction again. I have quite a bit of fiction books just to stick in here. Oops. I think I did that here. So that's just a glimpse kind of into the entering process.
I'm going to enter all of these boxes in. If I have something of interest, I will share it with you. Otherwise, I will show you when I've gotten to the most of this done and I kind of get to the next step.
Okay, so I have entered all of my books and curriculum that I have into the database for the sale, and I have printed off my tags. There are 10 tags per page, and I think I have like 28 pages. I have, what did I mark down? 273 items in there currently. I have a few more that I'll be entering as I sort through them, but the majority of them are in there. So now, next step is to cut these all into individual tags so that I can tape them on the back of each book. So entering them in the database was the easy part. Now comes the kind of tedious part. And I will say, as tedious as it is to cut all of these out by hand, it is so much easier with this paper cutter that I have from our school year than it was to do it by scissors last year. Okay, so I have finished entering the books in the database. I've made and cut out all of the tags, and now we get to take them all onto the books. Each item I'll tape the tag on, and I do use either painter's tape or an artist's tape or something of that nature, maybe masking tape even, because I want these to come off when people have bought them without tearing the covers for paperbacks in particular, or just any items. I want them to come off and leave them in good condition. So that is something to think about if you're taping things for a sale. Do not use packing tape. I hate when people use packing tape. But I have a lot to tape. So sorting through these to find the right labels is actually also kind of time consuming. I have already gone through and sorted them into type. So curriculum, novels, religious, manipulative, so that I have a little bit less to sort through when I'm looking for things, but it still takes quite a while just to find the right labels. So I also am labeling these and taping them. To it, I also make sure that everything has a rubber band around it. If it's scattered, make sure things are not going to fall apart or are in like condition that I want to sell them in. So this is kind of my last go through before I put them all back in boxes and take them to the sale. So anything that needs to be done, I do it at this point. Anything that needs to be cleaned off or taped or rubber banded, this is the time to do it before I actually take it to the sales. My last go through. You definitely want to tape these well enough that they're not going to fall off during the sale, because otherwise your item gets lost. But you don't want to make it impossible for people to take them off or waste more tape than you have to. So it's kind of a, like, how much can you do being enough, but you definitely want to make sure you have enough. Last year I did it around all the 4 edges, and I think that was a little overkill. I took some of my labels off of the items that didn't end up selling, and I was like, yeah, I definitely had enough. So this year I'm just doing top and bottom. So that is one box of
seven or eight. I have a little bit left to do, but I will see you at the end of all that.
So everything is entered into the system. It is labeled, taped, rubber banded, ready to go, and back in boxes. The only thing left for me to do is I need to label each of these boxes with my name, make sure the boxes are well taped and sturdy because I'm gonna have to carry them and then I don't have too much stuff in each box so it's not too heavy for me. And then I'm pretty much ready to go. Let me think, I did like 7 or 8 boxes worth of stuff, and I have a little bit more that I'm going to be slowly going through until the sale. I don't know if I'll get it all through or if some of it will go to the next sale. It's stuff I'm still kind of deciding what I'm going to do with. I don't know if I'm going to sell it or not. So I have a few more items that I will be entering, but for all intents and purposes, I have done the bulk of the work and I am pretty well ready to go. So I hope that you enjoyed following along in the process. I hope it was helpful for you to see what it was and maybe just enjoyable and maybe give you an idea of what it might entail to sell at this kind of sale. So that being the case, comment below, let me know if you've ever sold at a curriculum sale and what your thoughts are, if this was helpful for you or not.